Today, this is the part 3 of translating Italian language. Probably it's not going to be for real. The actual part 3 could be for this video anyway. So welcome back to Comic Studios, and I have last 3 days to complete my task before anything goes around for the unsupported warning soon, as I'm going to be started without further ado. Let's start with this thing as well for the Kilala Prince's comic studio over here for some sort of like this, as we're translating into something as well, and starting to example like this, and says, "Good morning, nerd one, and why are you going so fast?" Which means we're going to get for around here for some sort of like this. Is buongiorno nerdone, dove stai andando così veloce? Oh gosh, this is going to be for some sort of like here, for some kind of like this, as I'm pasting here, and this isn't going to be for one, and this is actually the words that he's saying this a little bit at once as well. So a terrifying studio was going to be running late from school. She is absolutely said that earlier in the day. I'm gonna be pasting here, and she says, "Ero inviato per la scuola." I know that word for some kind of like this, and this is going to be for such as a little bit for one thing as well. So we have to go into hurry up as well, and she's saying this as well. It is good day to hang out with her, and I'm gonna be copying and paste here. And I'm gonna be going for around here for some sort of like this. I'm gonna be copying for this thing and paste into something else. We don't want to go bypass for like this and paste, and probably there is only one. Alright, I might gonna be having a little bit for one here, and this isn't going to be for one thing. Paste it here, and it's all probably finished, like for some kind of like this. We translate into Italian languages one time for another thing as well. Another one is the battle cats that we're going to be seeing this thing whenever going to be actually going to say for as well. So that purple one is actually going to be for saying for one thing as well, as we're going to be cutting as a little bit way. And she says, "Where did you girls came from here?" And which means I'm not gonna be going for around here for to do. So where did you girls came from becomes da dove venti ragazzi. I'm outside of China since we're kicked out of for reasons. Which means I'm not very sure that I didn't remember, since that I just gonna be typing about here. This is how that you're going to be imagine this. You get kicked out of China. Unfortunately, that should be able to be staying here that due to some kind of communist reasons. But this should do it, what is actually going to scare the communism for some kind of like anything, of course. So, and she says, "Sono fuori dalla Cina de quanto di si chiama Cassiati Promovotti," and refusing to going back home, but it says the point of no return, and I can't stay here much longer. I'm not gonna be copying and paste for around for this thing, but I'll be pasting for a little bit for one thing as well. Il rifugio di tornare a casa ma diresse il punto di non rovimento non possono restare qui a correre a Lugo. Oh gosh, this is going to be for around here. This is actually, oh my gosh, I didn't actually paste it here for as well, so that must be a few seconds of penalty. But the full language that she actually says is almost complete as well. And one thing for other kinds of like this, that's for some kind of cookies that's said out loud for this. I wouldn't believe that I just put around on the side like those things. Chinese cookies, including one cookie from some kind of like the sidekick as well. So lemon zest cookie wasn't able to be driving for this thing as well. So Sting Jurain cookie was actually yells for one thing for give it itself for a ride. So hey boy, do you want to have a seat with us? So I'll be copying paste around here, and it is absolutely going to be here. Ehiragazo, oh, what is should be going to be saying this. This is a little bit a short word and paste for a little one as well. And then something is absolutely going to say, I wonder where I supposed to ride with this. Maybe I'll be talking around here before I just gonna be turning something like a say. I kept on translating into word and becomes this. And another sweet ride as could be for around here. And sono sicuro sono sicuro and predito la panitorino tardi. What this is actually going to be for making a little bit much more sense. But I'm not pretty sure that he says, well, I'm sure I'll be getting a license later. And paste through here. And I wouldn't be able to be getting permanent for this. So, way too much for this thing as well. Which means, I gotta say, we thought, oh gosh, this isn't going to be for around here. This is, oh gosh, this is going to be for such as a little bit for this thing. And of course, this is not too much for space for this thing as well. And sometimes it wouldn't able to be fitting a little bit perfect as well. So I'm gonna be scaling this later. And then on the winter side, may I talk about the moment since I was in excuse for this. And I just made a little bit of mistake. I'm just going to be taking a little bit of while. And I'm not going to be copying and paste whatsoever. Paste here. And it says, potervi parani on the antibon. Visto cerevo e prendo in una scuracio requesto. I'm sure that I'm not professional speaking the words around here. So speaking of this, of Italian language, that I'm not gonna be probably saying this for around here, and she says, what's the meaning of this that you're saying? And which means, cosa significa ciò che stai dicendo? And I'm quite sure this isn't going to be for such as a little bit nice. So, it will be trying to get over here. So, it's being for around here for some kind of this. And it fits not perfect. Just not for sure. This isn't perfect as well for these guys as well that she says. So that we already completed like this, and then goes to the castle cats and dungeons dogs like this. And then except for this thing as well, I might gonna be added for a little bit for later on. So there it goes. Because of this truck is actually a Chevy Silverado itself, that the 2017 model could be like this here before. Even for some kind of cookies like that as well. And because of the words are getting a little bit too long, but I'm not supposed that I'm just going to be thinking about here for a little bit for very much as well. Sometimes that wouldn't be for pretty much as well, that the Chevy Silverado is a little bit far to Lemon Zest Cookie. And I wouldn't believe that he's going to be getting on to the ride as well. He might get to be getting, for one thing, as for his license. He's going to be trying to get his license, driving license first, whatever it does. And probably that must be for a little bit even more for one here for as well. And on to the shores that she yells, hey everyone, do you want to join the fun shores and stay with us? We're excited to be on the cold waters. And probably that must be orange cookie anyways. And like anything as well that we're going to be saying about for this thing as well. And yells about for one thing. And that will be even more necessary that she is actually wanted to say. Paste over here for some sort of like here. So this isn't going to be for one here. And this isn't going to be for like this. Oh, what the question mark is going to be going around here. So she yells around for here for some kind of like this says. So she always yells around starting with the Italian language, and she says, "Ciao a tutti, volete venire alla spiaggia e stare con noi? Siamo entusiasti di navigare sulle acque fredde." I mean, this is actually called waters. The aqua means the water itself, or some kind of like the oceans, like here. Around the shores, like here, it wasn't that going to be kind of insane like the name as well. And some sort of like here that says impressive around here, and some kind of like this. I'm gonna be copying paste what it see that I just actually sing this. And pasting some kind of like this to Italian language from over here as well. And that some kind of like the night cookie says, "This is the power that I improve for like this, as I'll handle it." "Yes, indeed," said Shining Armor. Impressionante. Impressionante. Oh, probably, I'm not sure, this isn't going to be for quite a little bit of thing as well. So now comes with anything as well for some kind of tribe. There must be Tiger Lily Cookie, and there must be for Red Pepper Cookie, who is leaving like this. I'm not sure. He's living peacefully with their villagers or local villagers as well. The campsite as well could be from as well for some kind of like this. Within Pepperonico Cookie and Hanna-Barbera Cookie, there's Stan Marshes, like for some kind of a little bit amount of persons. There's Craig on behind, and there is Butters on for some kind of like this. There's Eric Cartman with his headless horse, and right behind it could be a Ford F-250, as I'll be going to be saying Ford F-250. Within the guys like other itself, as on top of this, she was on top of the F-250. That Milky Way cookie did it. But I'm not pretty sure that I just totally say that. Which includes around with Cappuccino Cookie, who was in the trunk of the F-250 as well. But on the shores, I had an orange cookie that I just probably going to be letting her sing this out loud. Which means that must be for a bunch of people, a little bit for one thing as well, such as Croissant Cookie, the Langue de Chat Cookie, the Cocoa Cookie, for her suitcase, I'm not sure, for her outfit for some kind of this. There's Cream Puff Cookie and her outfit, and including Sauna Egg Cookie, even as possible. At least that must be for a zombie cookie right next to Pinkie Pie's old form, or some kind of like this thing as well. A grumpy Pinkie Pie and a donkey doodle guy over here. I'm sure. I'm not pretty sure that must be the Cacodemon. That is actually going to be for summoning anything as well from some kind of like this. Maybe I shouldn't able to be doing this whatsoever, like anyways. So that was the boring ways to translate into Italian language whatsoever. And that will be the end of this video. And don't forget, the link is going to be in the description of the main website, as you might going to be browse some comics whenever you want as well. Thanks for watching, for all your support, and I'm going to be signing off, and I'll talk to mini lads and comic studio users and some users for viewers around the world all later, once I just actually already talking enough for around here, and should be staying for a little bit of English as well. And we just totally forgot to translate into Spanish as well. So thanks again and have a nice day.